Today we're gonna be talking about how Fanatec went from one of the most respected wheel brands in the world to absolute dumpster fire. So what did go wrong? Let's start from the very beginning. Fanatec brand was created in Germany in 1997 by the founder Thomas Jackermeyer, and this was their very first product, a Le Mans wheel, which honestly doesn't look too bad. Very clean looking wheel with a few buttons and even a built-in shifter. And over the years, they actually started improving and innovating their products. And because of that, they got a very loyal fan base. For example, Fanatec was the very first company to mass produce direct drive wheels. Now, not the first company to create the DD wheel, but the very first to sell them on a big scale. They also were the first to release multi-platform steering wheel, which nowadays, as you guys know, is very common. For example, G29 can be used on PlayStation and PC, right? Multi-platform. Fanatec was also the first to sell load cell pedals, which every pro sim racer nowadays uses. And they were also the first one to produce universal hubs, so interchangeable wheels. So you don't have to buy a new wheelbase to play with a different type of wheel, right? So things were going extremely well for Fanatec. So what happened? So Fanatec had passion, constantly pushing boundaries, loyal fan base. I mean, that is a great success story right there. And also, guys, Fanatec definitely boosted sim racing in general as well, because they started actually doing strategic partnerships with like the biggest game developers as well as esports organizations, which definitely helped grow sim racing community even faster, okay? But beneath all that success over the years they've had, they started seeing some challenges. So as Fanatec rapidly scaled their products and expanded worldwide, internal issues started to surface, which, as you may know, resulted in the Fanatec CEO being voted out or fired, whatever you want to call it. He had to step down. And of course, this started raising questions about Fanatec's direction and leadership. To make matters even worse, the once unwavering Fanatec now has funding issues, which obviously slows down the company's growth and innovation. Now, it wasn't all Fanatec's fault. Fanatec had their own little sim racing niche when they started, but it's not a niche anymore. There are just so many competitors. Even Moza Racing recently came out of nowhere and is making big moves. For example, Moza released the first mass-produced proper truck wheel, which I have as well, and it is incredible for games like Euro Truck Simulator. And Logitech started pushing relatively low-cost wheels as well at a very wide scale. Then Trustmaster had been making good sales. It just got harder and harder for Fanatec to maintain the success they've had. Now, I personally remember wanting a Fanatec wheel so much, but I did make a bad call and bought a G29, which I do not recommend. Do not buy Logitech wheels. The G29, the G920 are not good wheels, speaking from personal experience. Even the Logitech's 1000 USD direct drive wheel doesn't make any sense. It's a waste of money. There's so many better wheels out there for that price. But yeah, I remember watching live streams of sim races, and if someone had a direct drive wheel, it was usually Fanatec. It was just like a go-to brand. Safe. They had so much respect. Years ago, if you asked someone what direct drive wheel should I get, everyone would probably tell you Fanatec, but not anymore. Like for real, nowadays if I go on live streams, I see more and more like Moza direct drive wheels, SimCube or even Camus direct drive wheels. So there is a very clear shift going on right now. And currently I don't even know who is the leading go-to direct drive wheel brand. Maybe Moza or maybe Trustmaster, I'm not sure. I think Moza is too new. Maybe in a few years, I would probably go with Trustmaster, I guess, as the leader. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. Now, we need to talk about a very specific Fanatec incident as well. The Black Friday incident, where their website had an error and was not tracking the purchases. So they ended up with over 90,000 orders, and 6 months later, they are still shipping out those orders. People are waiting over half a year to get their Fanatec wheel after ordering one. This is crazy. And it was a big blow to Fanatec, because if you plan on buying a Fanatec wheel, you do your research and you see a lot of comments and feedback on the internet that people are complaining about waiting for many months on their order and still haven't received the wheel. Then you might change your mind about buying a Fanatec wheel. And this was Fanatec's official response for the Black Friday situation.
Dear community, we would like to give you another update on the current status of processing the 60,000 orders placed during Black Friday week. We have just done through exporting the orders from November 24th and are currently working on the orders from November 25th and 26th. So, we still expect a delay of up to 10 working days. However, we are aiming to process most Black Friday orders and return to day-to-day business, possibly by the end of next week. Please note that the processing time does not include the shipping time with UPS or FedEx. If your order is still in process, we still need to review these orders on a case-by-case basis. You will receive more information on this subject shortly. We thank you for your patience during this time. Your Fanatec team.
They are basically acknowledging on this quote that they're having trouble processing the 60,000 orders that were placed during the Black Friday week. But obviously it's not just this one incident that ruined Fanatec, it's obviously everything combined. To actually add to the Black Friday situation, besides the website error, which messed up the orders, they also had chip shortages. What that means is they couldn't produce wheels and items to match the orders, so the demand was way higher than the supply. And if you did buy a Fanatec wheel during that incident, then this would be the email you would receive from Fanatec.
Dear customer, we wanted to give you feedback on your tracking information for your recent Fanatec order. Shipment processing has taken longer than usual due to the high volume of orders placed during our Black Friday event. For this, we'd like to apologize. Despite working on weekends and running double shifts in our warehouses, the backlog remains quite large, which is why we are about 5 to 7 days behind our usual turnaround time. We expect to be back on track by the end of the week. If your order status reads completely shipped, this merely signifies that your order details were handed over to our logistics partner for processing. Actual shipment preparation time can take longer, as noted above. We apologize for any confusion on this point.
Now, speaking of shipping problems, those started happening even way before the Black Friday incident, somewhere around 2020 even. Now, if the volume of the sales goes up at a high rate, then you are bound to run into shipment problems. So delays on orders started to be a common thing. They had issues with custom clearance, orders gone missing, and overall transportation disruptions. So yeah, basically logistical headaches. And customers simply started complaining about that, which, yes, doesn't look good for the brand. The shipping problems got so bad that when you open up a ticket about the problem with your order, you got a reply back weeks later from Fanatec, sometimes even months later. Just a reply, like this is crazy. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. On April 15th, Andres Ruff has been appointed as the new CEO of Fanatec, so things will change. Now, for the better or for the worse, only time will tell.